In this video, I'm going to show you how the app works in a simple example. After registered and logged in, you'll arrive to the screen which shows your created formulas. We don't have any yet, so let's create one. In Performula, we have materials, solvents, dilutions, and accords, or formulas in other words. Collectively, we call them items, and we're going to create each of them. Let's create a formula. To do it, we can press either the Create button at the bottom of the screen or the yellow plus button at the top right corner. We have arrived at the item form. That's where we store and edit the information about an item. We are going to use the Jean-Carl's method to make our formula. The idea of it is to sense the difference it makes to add and remove a material from the mixture and gradually build it up. This is a very effective method, and I highly recommend it. But the main reason we're using it is I can demonstrate the abilities of the app with it. We're going to build up the base stage first, slowly moving up to top notes. Let's pair Exaltalide together with ambroxan. First, let's measure the bottle weight. We'll cover why this is important later. It's 10 grams. Let's find Exaltalide. To make it easier to find it, we will filter by stages 1 and 2. In Performula, instead of calling them base, middle, and top notes, we're dividing them into 5 stages, 1 being base, 5 being top. As you can see, there are some items by default. We don't have a diluted version of Exaltalide, so let's create it with IPM in 10% dilution. To do that, navigate to the items page, scroll down to dilutions, enter the dilution percentage and the solvent, then create it with the tick button. Then navigate back to our formula, deselect the pure version, and replace it with the dilution. We will use 2 grams of it for now. We will also use ambroxan. Press Add Material and search for it. It seems like it's not in the default library, so press the yellow button at the bottom to create it. It's automatically added to our composition, but we're going to use a diluted version of it. Navigate to ambroxan. We're going to fill out some basic details. First, the stage. It is useful when browsing and to get accurate insights about the stage distribution of a formula. We're going to assign some categories to it as well, amber and ambergris. Because ambergris doesn't exist, once we typed it in the search field, we can create it and it will be automatically assigned. Make sure to save it. Now create a 20% dilution with ethanol. Now we can go back to our base formula. Replace the pure version with the dilution and try 2 grams. When pressing the Show Total button, it will show useful information about the composition, like the actual amount of materials used, with the recommended amount below, and also whether or not we're inside the I for recommendation percentage. It seems like we're using too much Exaltalide, but it's fine as we'll add more materials to the overall mixture. Now we will test it theoretically by taking a sample out on a blotter to smell. To make sure we're still working with the correct ratios, we're going to weigh the whole bottle with the mixture to see how much we took out for sampling. The new weight is 13 grams with the bottle, so we took 1 gram out for smelling. Again, this is only theoretical for demonstration. We're going to use the proportional subtraction tool, which is the button with the dash. We enter the new weight and submit. You can notice that the amounts have changed for each item. This is because Performula automatically calculates how much of each item has remained after the subtraction. We will add a bit more ambroxan to the mix, and it's highlighted as it's already been selected. You can select a material as many times as you want. We're adding 1 more grams of it. We're going to name this as base. Hit save, and we're ready to go to the next step. Hit the plus button again to get an empty form. Again, we start with entering the bottle weight. Then add the base we've created previously. Use 2 grams of it. We're looking for a middle note here, so filter by stages 2 and 3 only, and sort by stage. When you hit the Categories button, you'll see a list of categories. When you open one of them, it will show all the items having that category. Let's search for a fixative. Let's go with Hedione and create a 10% dilution of it with ethanol, then replace the pure version with the dilution. We're going to use 4 grams of it. Let's test it out. We're taking some out for testing, and the new weight is 15 grams. When switching to Show Total mode, you can see how the parts of our base accord is shown, and that we're now inside the I for recommendation of Exaltalide. This one's name will be middle, and after saving, we're ready to move on to our last step. Create a new item, enter the bottle weight, add our middle accord, and use 3 grams of it. For our top note, we're going to use a fruity material. Filter by stage 4 and 5, sort by stage, search by categories, and look for fruity. Let's go with fructone. To keep it short, We're using the pure version of fructone because we've already covered how to make dilutions. Use 2 grams. After testing it, we ended up with 14 grams total weight, including the bottle. Let's add a bit more of the base accord. Use maybe half grams. And that's it. Name it My Perfume and save. As you can see, the base and middle accords are in the perfumes collection. One more thing that may be useful in the long run is to archive accords that were temporary for testing. Don't worry, they will still be available and can be restored at any time. Just won't be visible when browsing, except when you make archived items visible when filtering. Once you restore them, they will be visible again. Congratulations! You learned how to use Performula. If you get stuck, you can also check the written tutorial on performula.io. I hope you enjoyed the video and will create many incredible formulas with our app. Thanks for watching.